Hey guys, what's up? It's Jonathan with One Big Impact. So first of all, welcome. It is the 60-day challenge, the New Year event, and I know this can be an extremely difficult one. I don't know what's popping up on my screen. This is annoying. But I do have some things written down that I want to talk about first of all. This was a video that was recommended by Cindy, and thank you, Cindy, for bringing it up. I think it's really important. I have a massive neck problem right now. Funny enough, I actually did a video on stretching yesterday, and I did stretch out, but I went really hard. This is the side of my body that needs surgery for my shoulder, and I did traps yesterday, and I am having a huge problem. So if occasionally I use this during the video, please don't judge me, because I'm having a hard time with it. So today's video is actually um, the importance of striving for progress, not perfection. Now, a lot of you grew up, and your parents push you really hard for perfection. A lot of the times that can push us in a bad direction. It can make us emotional. It can make us feel like we can't live up to people's expectations or our own expectations. And it can be really difficult because you go through life literally striving for perfection in everything you do. First of all, it's not going to happen. You need to focus on, especially with weight loss, and pretty much any type of life improvement or self-development thing that you're doing in life, you need to focus on the good, not the bad. Think about where you were a year ago. Now, you're probably thinking, I ate like crap yesterday. Those ginger snaps, or I don't even know what the hell a ginger snap is, but I know it's a treat. Or those brownies or whatever just got a hold of me. So here's two things that you need to think of. First of all, the fact that you're thinking about those things is good. The second thing is, think about where you were last year. Last year, would you have eaten an entire pan and never even thought twice about it? Probably. Now it's on your mind, and you're thinking, hey, this is probably a bad idea, and you're thinking about it, and it's really good because it's in your subconscious. So that's amazing, okay? You feel guilty. And I'm not saying that's good, but it is. It is amazing because in turn, you're actually telling yourself what you're doing makes you unhappy, and you need to focus on better lifestyle decisions, which is okay. That's good. That's a good thing. The bad is, oh my gosh, I ate poor, whatever, blah 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 blah. Think about the good that is in that thought. You think I ate poor a year ago. Were you thinking I ate poor? Absolutely not. You were just eating. So it's a really good thing. You have to remember that. Also, think about your achievements. Think about all of your achievements. I'm going to turn this light off because it's bugging me with the glare. Hopefully, I can reach it. Oh, crap. Sorry, my neck is pretty screwed up right now. Think about all your achievements. If you are on a weight loss journey, think about, if you've lost 5 pounds, if you've lost a pound, if you just haven't gained any weight, or maybe you've lost 100 pounds. Think about those things and think about all your achievements in a really positive way. I'm not saying as you're eating cake or whatever, don't think about your achievements right there, because obviously the two things are going to get crossed and you're going to... Anyway, don't eat cake and be happy about it, okay? unless you're maintaining and you get to that level, whatever, and you can control it, that's cool. But think about how far you've come. Don't drag yourself down with negative thoughts, because we can really do that, and we can really damage our progress by doing so. The next thing is, when you eat bad, if you're striving for intense perfection, you can send yourself into an uncontrollable emotional eating frenzy. Now, what I mean by that is, a lot of the times, say you eat that brownie or you eat that, eat whatever, and then you feel bad about it. Well, if you're an emotional eater, feeling those feelings of sadness or sorrow or whatever, and I know it sounds stupid for a lot of people that you feel sorrow or guilt or sadness after you eat bad or whatever. But if you're an emotional eater, anything can trigger you. Anything. A bad day at work, somebody cussing you out, kids pissing you off, the husband or wife is just like, nagging or whatever. anything can send you into an emotional eating frenzy. So if you're striving for perfection and you eat bad, the bad thing is that once you do eat bad, you can start feeling guilty. And then once you start feeling guilty, you eat again and you eat again. A lot of the times, if you eat bad, you just have to say, whoa, okay, I screwed up. No big deal. I'm going to get back on track. I'm not going to be hard on myself. I'm not going to stress out over it. Not that I'm going to do it again, because I'm watching you. But I know it sucks. I know I did this. I know how to move forward. I'm going to journal about it, and obviously I will put a link in the description below for a journal. I have to write a note. Journal link. I always forget the damn links. But don't stress out on it so much. Yes, you ate bad, but if you stress out and you ate bad, you're going to keep eating bad. And once it gets out of control for like an hour, a day, a week, that's when you actually start, having bad things happen. I don't stress so much about somebody eating something poorly one day, but I do stress on the fact that once you eat poorly one day, you can feel feelings of guilt. If you eat one bad meal, technically you're not going to gain a bunch of weight, nothing's going to happen. But it's up here, you're extremely hard on yourself, and that's why it's important not to eat the bad meal, because then once you do, you say, screw it, I've ate bad, whatever. It's what it is, and then it just gets out of control, and you do it over and over again. So definitely keep that in mind. The next thing is realize you will screw up someday, and I do not want you to think that that's a bad thing. Okay, first of all, if you've gained weight, if you have weight to lose, you've probably screwed up to get here. Now, I'm not saying that to be a jerk, and I know it sounds like a a-hole comment. But let's just be completely honest. If we got overweight, maybe we had tiny little things over the years. Maybe it took 10 years to gain 5 pounds, whatever. Now, that's not technically screwing up. But something was off along the way. And you're human, okay? And that birthday party or something's going to come up, and you're going to accidentally eat some ice cream or whatever, and it happens. The important thing that you realize is that you're not freaking perfect. You're never going to be perfect, and it happens. And I'm trying not to cuss, so yes, you can insert all the cuss words for you if you like to hear me cuss. They are definitely cracking down on me on YouTube. But realize you're going to screw up. I don't care how awesome you are, how whatever you are, it happens. It really does, and it's okay. I'm not saying do it all the time. Yes, I will bust your chops about it. I do not want you to screw up all the time. I don't want you to make a habit out of it. It's a very dangerous thing, as far as, like I said before, you can go from one meal to the next meal to the next meal, and then a month goes by and you did gain 10 pounds, and that's going to suck. And all your hard work will be forgotten. So that's definitely something you need to keep a hold of. The next thing is, if you miss a meal, don't panic, don't eat bad out of guilt and lack of perfection. So I get this message a lot, and I'm not calling anybody out in particular or specifically, but a lot of people say, hey, I can't eat 5 meals a day. First of all, yes, you can. I don't give a crap what job you got. Throw some damn celery in your pocket and a piece of cheese and eat it. Okay? I don't care what it is. Aside from like holding on to the outside of a plane while it flies 50,000 feet in the air and you had to let go and you could die, it takes literally 5 seconds to eat a couple pieces of celery and some cheese. So your excuses are invalid. Where is it? Be stronger than your excuses. But the next thing is, a lot of people say, I missed a meal, what do I do? I'm freaking out. Or I can't eat this meal, I'm not going to have time for this meal. First of all, yes you do, just like I just said. Second of all, if it happens, which we get busy and whatever, a lot of times you forget to eat or whatever, don't panic. It's okay. It happens. Go to your next meal, or eat your next meal a little bit earlier if you find yourself hungry. The biggest reason that I say I'm a proponent of 5 meals a day is because I don't want you to get hungry, and then when you're overly hungry, you make bad food decisions because you want to feed yourself right then. And a lot of the times, if you don't have your meals prepped or something, like another thing that I say, you just want to eat and you make bad food choices. So you definitely have to keep that in mind. If you miss a meal, dude, who cares? You're not perfect. Go to the next meal or get a hold of that actual meal as soon as you can. Or I wouldn't even be bothered with if at your next meal you put them both together. Whatever, who cares? It's not like it's going to be, super horrible. Stop being so damn hard on yourself. The next thing is perfectionism. First of all, it's not going to happen. And if it does, you're psychotic. You're just psychotic. I've met two types of people in my life that are as close to being perfect as I've seen. First of all, people that have been in the military for way too damn long. If you've been in the military for 20 years, if you've been in a relationship with somebody that's been in the military for a long time, they are extremely strict. And it can be extremely hard to be in a relationship with somebody like that because they are so just boom, 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 boom. It's like, dude, fucking live a little. Ooh, oh my gosh, I said a bad word. Freaking live a little. Maybe I can edit that out. I don't know. But those people and people that are like OCD, and that can be a massive problem. Stop being so obsessive about just life in general. Just live, dude. Like, seriously. Stop obsessing over stupid stuff. Like, this is literally a changed lifestyle. Are you going to obsess for the next 80 years of your life? No. Don't. Let it go. Realize it happens. And yes, that was my way of blurting out my own cuss word. The next thing is, over time, the process becomes more fluent because the more you do anything in life, the easier it gets. Now, I'm not saying it becomes closer to perfection. Stop holding on to that word, okay? You're not perfect and you don't need to be. Your lack of perfectionism is what makes you such a beautiful and unique human being. If you were perfect, I wouldn't hang out with you. Not that I hang out with anybody. But if you were perfect, it would be weird. Have you ever met this girl or, that girl in high school that's literally perfect? Come on. That's weird. Like, what? Perfect hair, not a strand out of the place or whatever? What's going on? You know what I mean? Like, where's that movie? I just watched a movie recently, and it was a wife that was perfect, but she ended up like killing the husband and lost her family. It was really crazy, and kind of tapping into somebody's life that can be damaged as a child. And that was an extreme version, obviously, but it's real. Like, our parents and childhoods can put so much pressure on us that we think that we need to constantly strive for perfection, and we don't. Okay? If you're an Olympic athlete, yes, you want to get as close to perfection as possible, but in reality, you screw up even then. It's what it is because you're human. But it's like I say all the time, if you want to start welding, you have to learn how to, make that first tack weld. And then you make, a line weld. And then you work on your beading. And then you work on maybe repairing something and see how it works. And it's the first time it's going to suck. It's going to fall apart. And then maybe eventually you get to, 20 years down the road, maybe you're like a master welder and you can do custom metalwork and fencing and stuff like that. You don't wake up one day and say, I'm going to make custom fabrication and I'm going to make beautiful things and it's going to start today. Well, it can start today, but you're not going to be that master welder today. It takes years and years to become more fluent at whatever you do. So the more you change your lifestyle, the more you stay on track, the more you work towards it. Say you screw up 20 days out of the year. And I'm not saying that's okay. Don't take it like that. Get that out of your head. Throw it in the garbage. But I'm saying if you screwed up 20 days in a year, that leaves you 345 days that you did really good. Look at the percentages there. That's really good. Before you were doing 365 days that were really, that were really bad. So your percentages are way higher, and the more if you do something good 345 days out of the year, you're going to be a hell of a lot better off than you were doing the complete opposite. So keep that in mind and don't stress on that. The next thing is, being strong is when you eat bad and your mind, the whisper I talk about, says no. All you got to do is try listening every once in a while. Practice it. Practice it. When you go to eat, I don't have any food right here. I did just have a bunch of plates here. Say this is a cheeseburger, right? And I just went through the drive-thru and I got my cheeseburger at Mickey D's or whatever, and I'm getting ready to eat my cheeseburger, and I'm like, this is a bad idea. And probably you thought it was a bad idea as soon as you pulled into the drive-thru. Try listening just once. Practice your self-control. Practice the idea of listening to your whisper. That's your subconscious. That's your mind, your soul saying, dude, this is just bad. Try listening. Back away, back out of the drive-thru. Trust me, I've done it. Back out of the drive-thru and just, continue with your day. First of all, that's going to do two things. It's going to feed the fact that you love yourself, okay? It's not about perfectionism. It's just about listening to what your body and mind actually want. Those thoughts, your gut instinct, or lack of thinking about your gut, is going to really push you towards a lot more self-love. It can be really beneficial to focus on the positive as far as like small, tiny little achievements like that. They could be big achievements, rather than saying, screw it, I'm just going to eat it. Because that's instantly saying, I don't care what you think, because that's yourself. And basically, you are the most important person that should be in your life. And if you're not worrying about yourself, you're not going to be able to care about anybody else properly either. The next thing, I got to flip my page. I write this down because it helps. It helps me. Emotional eating can be helped just by simply listening to your whisper. I just talked about that. I don't have to go any further into that. The holidays are tough, okay? Let's talk about the holidays a little bit, and if you're watching this video, it might not make sense. But you can adapt this to anything in life. You can adapt this to your career field, your job, trying to be successful, grades, trying to work on school. That could be a big one. That can really stress you out. Stop worrying about being perfect. Just do your best. The holidays are tough. There's something called SAD, which is funny because I'll explain. Seasonal affective disorder is something that affects 3.5 million people per year. It includes fatigue, depression, hopelessness, and social withdrawal. And what that is around the holidays or around times that are gloomy, or sometimes if you live in a place that has lots of clouds and stuff like that, you can, or just around the winter months, you can be affected massively by the change. Now, they obviously don't know, a for sure reason of why it happens, but it can. And I feel that a lot of it can be because of a person you lost in your life, or somebody that used to be there for the holidays and isn't anymore, and it triggers those bad feelings. Yep, there goes those bad feelings being triggered. Mine a lot of the times is I think about how I screwed up in my marriage, and it would be nice to have trying to get a hold of myself. Hold on. Jade, Bailey, and Julie, which was my ex-wife, and her daughters in my life again, so I could fuck. try to do the right thing. You know, try to be a better man. And you can be affected by a lot of different things. It could also be that you have to be around family that you don't like. It could be that, you know, the one time a year you actually have to be around people that you don't enjoy. It could be, you know, if you're a widow, you could, you know, miss your significant other, or whatever. It could be a whole slew of things. It could be that you're alone for the holidays. Whatever it is, just feel free to be able to message me if it's too much for you. It's important that you try to see a counselor, talk to somebody. Don't ever think that it's so bad that you have to do anything rational or irrational. Sorry, do things that are rational only. You could also try medication. That's the first time I tried it, but sometimes it is an okay thing. Another thing is I'm a big proponent of exercise, huge proponent of exercise, and the other one is this can actually cure a lot more than you think, connecting with nature. We are, by design, animals that are supposed to be connected with nature. These boxes that we live in and all that, that's all new, you know. We are, by design, great, now my nose is running. We are, by design, humans that should be connected with nature. A lot of the times, if you're having a bad day, try driving out into the middle of somewhere and just kind of walking around and having a little walk in the nature. You'd be surprised how much you can reset your mind. And I used to do it a lot in my early 30s. I'm still in my 30s, so don't say anything bad. But in my early 30s, I used to go out constantly. I needed it, and it really, really changed my life. I did it for about a year solid. And I would just go every time I had a thought, and I would just walk around the trees and stuff like that. I'd have to drive pretty far to find trees. But that being said, please try to reconnect with nature, because a lot of the times it can really, really do you a lot of good. Obviously, try everything you can before medication, and then see how that works. Family is a pain in the This time of year can be really hard because a lot of people are stressed out because of family. If you have extra weight on you, not only can you have the stress of going to parties or family gatherings and stuff like that, because I've seen some families that are absolutely horrible to the people in their family. You know, they'll say, you know, fat jokes or all kinds of just screwed up stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen some dads. I knew this chick one time. Her dad would call her a WHORE in front of people. And he did it in front of me one time, and I said, who the hell are you? You know, and she had major issues, and I felt really bad for her. And it was actually a chick I dated, and I go, who the hell says that to their daughter? The one person that person idolizes is treating them that way. And I said, no, that's not acceptable. And it was sad because the guy was in a wheelchair and he was super old. But I said, just no, you can't do that. Like, this is why this person is so screwed up. She's never going to live up to anybody's expectations. So it can be really hard. You may deal with worse or not as bad as stuff as that, but just remember that if you do decide to be around family and stuff this year, this holiday season, don't let it bother you as much as just brush it off. Just pretend it jumped on your shoulder and you just brushed it off, because the reality is, chances are those people aren't going to be around you in a week, and just get through it. It's okay. Next thing, well, that's it. That's it. Long enough video, I know. You guys, stop striving for perfection, okay? It's not a real thing, okay? There is a flaw in everything in life. And that's what makes life beautiful. That's what makes you amazing. If you screw up, just get back on board. It's really not that big a deal. Remember, one screw up's not a big deal, but if you go ding, 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 you know, that's when they build up and you have issues. I hope you guys like our video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Have a beautiful day. Remember to spread love, not hate. And you're not perfect. And that's what makes you awesome. Peace, guys.